Let's create a health bar in Unity 3D. So the first step is we're going to create a UI image by right-clicking, selecting UI and image. We're going to rename this image boundary, which will act as boundary of our health bar. We're going to resize this bar with a width of 500 and height of 80 units. Let's anchor this health bar at the top right corner of the screen. Now we're going to duplicate this boundary and create the background for the health bar. We're going to rename it health bar dash background and change its color to red. So this will be the background of the health bar. We're going to adjust its size so it is slightly smaller than the boundary. So we're going to make its width 490 and height 70. Next, we're going to duplicate this health bar background to create the foreground for the health bar. We're going to change the color of the health bar foreground to green. So to create a health bar, we need a white background for this health bar foreground. So we can just create a simple white square in the paint application. We're going to resize its size to 200 by 200 pixels. And we're going to save this as a PNG. So let's import this white square background in Unity by dragging and dropping into SX folder. You want to make sure that it is imported as Sprite 2D and UI. Next, we're going to drag and drop this white square onto the source image property in the image component of the health bar foreground. We're going to set the image time property to filled and the fill method to be horizontal. So that will give us the slider that we can map with the health of the player. Now to connect this health bar foreground with health of a player, we're going to create a C# script with name player controller. And let's create an empty game object and call that player. So in your own game, it will be your actual player that we're gonna put code in for connecting health bar with the health of the player. Let's connect this player controller script to the player game object. And let's open the player controller script. So to use the UI image, we need Unity engine.ui. So make sure you include that in the header. Let's create the health property for the player, which will be a float value with default value of 100. Now let's create a serialized field to connect with the image of health bar. And we're going to set the fill amount property of the health bar by setting the dividing health by 100, because the slider value goes from 0 to 1, and we're going to map it with the health value from 0 to 100. We're going to create two methods. One is take damage and another one heal for increase or decrease the health. So let's write this function take damage with a float amount so that health gets decreased by that damage amount. So anytime our player gets hit or take damage, then this function is called to reduce the health by that amount. Let's create the next method heal with a value amount. So anytime our player picks up a health pack, then the value of health increased by that amount. In this demo, we're going to use up arrow to increase the health and down arrow to decrease the health, which is in turn going to show the health amount in the health bar. So we're going to use input.getKeyDown. So for down arrow, we're going to call the take damage function with an amount of 10. And for up arrow, we're going to call the heal function with an healing amount of 10. So lastly, we're going to update the fill amount of the health bar by setting it equal to health divided by 100 to map it to the slider scale. And this is the entire code. So the last thing to do is connect the foreground of the health bar with the health bar object in the player controller. So we're going to drag and drop the health bar foreground to the health bar property in the player controller script. So now let's test the program by running it. And when you press up arrow, the health amount increases, and when you press down arrow, the health amount decreases. Thanks for watching.